Thank you for watching my video discussion board for this week. I'm glad we compared these two theories because it was interesting to lay them side by side and look at the similarities and differences. I came up with two similarities for this week through the readings, through Tan's text and Corey's text. The main one I want to talk about is awareness. Awareness was a huge similarity, the client becoming aware of their thoughts, their feelings, and actions. And then the second point is taking responsibility once that awareness occurs. Those two were very prevalent throughout Corey's texts and throughout Tan's text. Now, some differences between the two. Corey, 2021, in section 6.4b, this is a direct quote, says its strength focuses on available choices and pathways towards personal growth. So existential theory looks at the here and now, but in a sense is future-minded, is thinking about ways in which that person, that client can grow. Whereas Gestalt heavily emphasizes the client being present, fully present in the here and now. Gestalt therapy focuses on verbals and nonverbals, specifically energy and blocks to energy, as Corey discusses in his text. I think that the differences between these two theories are actually their strength. So existential, while it focuses on the here and now with the future in mind, is asking the client to think about their meaning and their purpose, and brings up the idea of death. What does that look like to the client? For Gestalt, though, I think its strength lies in its focus on the here and the now. Not forcing in a sense, but emphasizing the here and now in that counseling setting with that good therapeutic alliance allows that client to be aware of themselves and taking ownership and responsibility for that change to occur. Now, some weaknesses, perhaps. Tan 2011 explains that existential theory, the terms that are used, it's difficult to do research on because the terms that are used are very intangible. It's talking about concepts that are not easily measured. For Gestalt theory, there's such a heavy focus placed on the here and now. Tan 2011 on page 172 of his book talks about, well, what about the future? What does that look like? If the client is so focused on the here and now and bringing the past into the present, what about the future? Talking about the compatibility of these two theories with Christianity, Tan 2011 for Gestalt talks about Gestalt therapy having too positive a view on human nature. It's on page 172. For existential theory, Corey 2021 in section 6.2g writes, this is a direct quote, "The existentialist does not view death negatively, but holds that awareness of death as a basic human condition gives significance to the living." So as Christians, we know that humanity has fallen, and for the non-believer, death equates to death and damnation to hell. And this existentialist approach puts a positive spin on something that we know as believers to be negative. As for measurable outcomes, we talked a little bit about how not everything in existential theory is easily measurable. So Tan 2011, page 109 says that it's not an easy way to measure such subjectivity, but for Gestalt, it might be a little bit easier to measure because maybe there's a resolution to unfinished business as talked about in Corey 21's text. But in conclusion, both theories have valid techniques that may work well, but after reading Schweitzer and Rubin's text 2015 on page 102, psychotherapeutic integration is discussed, and I am wondering what it would look like to combine these two theories, aspects of these two theories, as well as aspects from others to best help a client. So thank you for listening today.